Welcome to Melanators Anonymous. I know at this point, you guys are going to think I'm a Melanie stan, but you know, if you've been watching these recaps over the last couple of years, you know, we tell it like it is. We call out Melanie when she's wrong or when she's bamboozling or being a sniper from the side. We do. But these last couple of weeks, Melanie's the reason why I'm watching. And the fact that Martel hasn't been on the last couple of weeks is another reason why I'm watching. I want them to test out the numbers. Anytime that Martel's on, do people leave and go to the bathroom? Live chat. Do you leave and go to the bathroom during Martel's scenes? We didn't get any Martel last week. We didn't get any Martel this week. We got some of Marcel though, but not a lot. It was mostly about the ladies, which we can really appreciate. But we do have a lot of the Scott brothers. How many Scott brothers are there? 4? Damn. And they all are kind of strange. Maurice of all of them seems like the most normal one. And when I say normal, you know what I mean. I'm not talking about, because we know Maurice, at least this week, we're not talking about him forcing himself on his wife. At least we're not talking about that. Okay. But I want to talk about this episode because I like I said, if I had to rate this episode, live chat, if you had to rate this episode from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? I'd probably give this episode 8.5, 9. I thought it was good. I don't know for how long it's going to be good because it is a lot of the same battles that are happening amongst the people. But some of the things that you guys have called in and told me, well, maybe this whole situation is this for this. Well, not Melanie bringing it to the show. Last week, she read him down and pulled up all his $5 million fraud situation, called him out. You should be happy that I had a dream and a vision so that you can get a paycheck. If you missed last week's episode, you missed a fun recap because we talked all about that. But this week is just going to be just as fun because I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. That's what he said. Come on, it's Sunday, Kempire. Come on. Sorry. All right. Guys, as always, be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Let's get into a countdown so that the live can get out to the notification squad, all right? Let's get into this countdown and then let's get into this episode. Let me know where you're watching from, what's the temperature, and what you've got planned for today.
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
I was just looking at my to-do list for last week. Not me getting through my entire to-do list last week. Okay. To-do lists really do help. It kind of really sets you up. I don't even remember looking at my to-do list, but I wrote it down and I'm looking at it now. I'm like, oh, I did everything I need to do last week. I need to set some new goals for this week. It's Sunday, so this is a perfect day for you guys to meal plan. This is a perfect day for you to sit down and write down the things that you're grateful for. It's important to do those things. It is. I'm telling you, it really will change your life and your perspective and subsequently affect your health, both internally and all that good stuff, your emotional health as well. Anyways, enough of that. And let's get to the mess. No, let's not get to the mess. Guys, as always, welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. You missed a poppin' week. We had a lot going on this week. We had the Real Housewives of Potomac trailer that came out. I did a recap, a live recap of the trailer. We also dropped the storylines that you can expect. Robin is clapping back at us. Not at us specifically, but the world. We talked about that. We also had some more updates in regards to the Jeannie Mai and Jeezy situation. If you missed any of that, be sure to check out all of that here on the channel. We're also celebrating over 305,000 subscribers. Woo! Thank you. So if you're a new subscriber, let us know in the live chat. I'd love to see the new subscribers. And if you are a subscriber for 2 years or more, let us know in the live chat as well. All right. Replay crew, we haven't forgotten about you. Let us know if you're a new subscriber, and also let us know. And also let me know if you're a new subscriber or if you are an old time subscriber. Let me know what was the video that brought you into our community. And welcome. We have the best community. And I'm not just saying that. We really do. You know, when people call in, we have conversations. Some people have been around for a long time. And I look forward to meeting you guys in your city soon. All right. Where do we begin? So we're still at Tiffany's baby reveal, and they have not revealed the baby yet. The baby's cute, though. Not Tiffany. Tiffany's breastfeeding the baby, and she's like, she hears what they're talking about. She's like, I'd say something if I was over there. Tiffany, you are so messy. Like, she's just like, she wants to breastfeed, but she wants to be a part of the mess. I understand, Tiffany, because you've been so messy even when the baby was in your stomach. So she's just like, I can do both. I can do both. So, of course, at this baby reel, Tisha arrives late. She did not RSVP, but she does arrive. And this is where the group decides to confront Tisha, about the Expo. If I keep watching the show, I'm going to keep look, and I'm not the best pronunciation of anything, but if I keep watching people incorrectly pronunciate certain words, I'm going to start to say that. I do not want to start to say these in my real life conversation, because they're going to start to look at me as like we look at Tisha. The Expo and event. I'm sorry. Okay, back to this. Anyways, so everyone, Nell is messy. I feel like Nell got her marching orders from Melody. And you know, Melody has been accused of bringing people on the show to sort of be her henchman or her soldier. I'm starting to get that vibe from Nell, because we're not familiar with Nell. So I don't know if this is naturally who Nell is. Remember, we thought the same about Tiffany, but I think that's naturally who Tiffany is. I think Tiffany is messy. What's Nell's sign? Does anyone know? Because she's another Scorpio. Y'all Scorpios are travel. I love it, though. I love it. So Nell is there stirring the pot with Tisha. She's like, oh, what happened with the $100? Because remember, that caused an issue between Stormy and Tisha and Marsau, specifically Marsau and Stormy. So she's like, well, I want to know what happened with the $100. Kimmy is because Kimmy's also a producer, always stirring the pot, bringing up, we're hearing different things about the Expo and what happened at the Expo. And some people paid, some people didn't pay. Tisha's like, why is Stormy acting different? Because apparently they had a side conversation over the phone and they were laughing and having a good time, and everything that happened before was dead. But Stormy's acting brand new. Well, if it's true, Stormy, I am looking at you with the side eye. Like, do you not want to act as if that you're in a good place with Tisha because everyone else isn't? I'm just looking. I don't know. I'm not going to take what Tisha says for Bible. But if you guys had put things to the side, why are you sitting there calling her husband a woman in women's business? Look, so the psychology major in me, with my psychology degree, had to unpack why I've said this before. I don't love it when the audience or other people on these casts refer to men as women and degrading men. For me, and I had this aha moment. I was like, I know I don't like this, because I've seen women do this to gay men. So for me, anytime I see people do this to heterosexual men, I already know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it seem, and they don't even realize what they're doing, as if being a woman is bad or less. But I get it. Some of you are like, well, he shouldn't be in women's business. And I agree. Marcel should mind his business and stop being so messy. But I always hate it when people are trying to use first of all, being gay, we've talked about this before too, or being a woman as something bad or lower than, or like, for me, it always, I know I'm triggered. I'm triggered because I know the underlying insult by referring to Marcel or any man as a woman is to sort of It's homophobic. And I know some people are like, oh, I'm not homophobic, but I don't feel like he shouldn't be a woman. No, I'm just saying the underlying energy, the subconscious energy under that is homophobia. And we need to stop doing that. And and that to the side. That to the side. I'm surprised that Tisha allowed Stormy to refer to her husband as a woman. Like I said, it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, you knew exactly what Stormy was trying to do in that moment. She was trying to degrade Marsau to his wife in front of this group. I didn't like it, and she did it more than once. So even Nell was like, if she had said something like that about Chris Fletcher, she would definitely be getting some sort of shade back or something else. I'd be like, it's what you're not going to do is talk about my husband. First of all, he's not here. And you're also not going to refer to him as a woman in a derogatory way. But I had this aha moment when I was like, why do I not like this? I knew on some level it had something to do with that. And then I had the aha moment. I was like, oh, I know why. Because there are a couple of reasons. But I'm not going to rehash it. That's just my opinion on that particular aspect of when people try to, like, because men do it too when they refer to other men. Oh, like, oh, you're being a woman in this situation. Or we've talked about this before, when the gay rumors come up on these reality shows as if being gay is wrong or as being gay is bad. It's the same thing. You just have to put it in the same scenario. Or scenario. You say tomato, I say tomato. Anyways, so we have this at this baby reveal. Tisha does not want to answer any questions about the money situation, probably because her brain is not there. Marsau. She doesn't want to, she walks away. She feels like everyone's confronting her about what happened at the expo. She's like, well, if you guys want to do an expo, do your own expo. She's like, she doesn't need notes. Because Kimmy is like, you might need to have some notes on what went right, what went wrong. Because they don't want to talk about the money. Some of y'all might feel as if they were being funny about the money. But Melody says later that, well, I think it didn't bring in a lot of money, so they're a little embarrassed. But they collected money for Maurice. All right, let's go to Maurice and Kimmy's scene. So they're busy building and renovating this place. And Maurice's brother is there, Micah, doing the renovations and things like that. And he's taking a long time. I feel like that is just something that happens with all contracts. I feel like it's in their blood. Like they cannot stick to a date. Okay. But some are better than others. But Micah is not. But Kimmy, of course, being a producer, is being messy and bringing up everything that happened at the baby reveal. And specifically what went down with Marsau. Too many M's. Marsau. And she brings up the fact that Marsau is telling people that they came out of pocket, nobody paid. And Maurice, as you know, a couple of episodes ago told us that, no, we paid our $100. So is he ripping off his own brother? It wouldn't be the first time that we've seen family do this. I was watching, I was like, some family members are something else. Like, I just can't imagine doing that to family. But some families are very much like that. So, because my thing is, if this is your brother and you're being a part of this, it's different if you don't have the funds and you need everyone to contribute. But you're telling people like, oh, I had to come out of pocket when you know Maurice gave his $100, even though it's not a lot to put on an event. I mean, his $100 comparison to what they may have to put in for the entire event probably doesn't compare. And I'm sure that's exactly what Marsau will say. I'm sure that's what he'll say. But he's still paid. So Maurice is like, I'm going to have to talk to him about this. Kimmy, I don't like the fact that you were sort of making excuses for Marsau being in all of everyone's business and being the ladies' business and the wife's business and things like that. It felt like Kimmy was making excuses. He's like, he's always in everything. And you know what I thought in that moment? We have to remember that this is her brother-in-law. What we see on the show versus their real life, like that's probably like a real brother to her. And I think on some level, she still is going to protect Tisha and Marsau because they know the deal. They have probably become very self-aware and self-produced when being on this show and protective of each other because they are technically family. Not technically, they're family. Speaking of family, our coldest family. Guys, don't forget, coldest.com. You can get water bottles. Oh, this feels great. Water bottles, You can get sheets, things for your pets, things for to quench your thirst. But don't forget to use the discount code Kempire10 for 10% off of your order. They are a proud sponsor of the channel. They've been around a long time. They've sent me this, I don't remember how long ago, 3 years ago? Sorry, y'all. Gotta quench my thirst. I'm doing a lot of talking. All right. And as always, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to say thank you to our King's Guards, because I know they're all in there greeting you, saying hello, and letting you know what has been going on here on the channel or on other platforms that we are located on. For all those details, head on over to TheKempire.com. All right. So back to this. So Maurice and Kimmy had that conversation. Then Melody and Nell. So Melody goes to Nell's daycare that's been around for almost 30 years. And Nell and I have to say, I do enjoy Melody and Nell's scenes together because it feels genuine. And I don't feel like Melody, at least on this cast, has any real genuine friendships with any of the cast members anymore. So I feel like when we have these moments with Nell, it feels like, oh, we can take a cyber. Like Melody's not being messy. Even though I have to say, Melody and Tisha did not get into it because during the baby reveal, because Mel did bring up that what Marsau was saying about her t-shirt businesses and things like that. But she was like, I will talk to him directly about it. Because she's specifically making it very intentional that she's not going to ruin her civility, look, her being civil with Tisha. She's not going to allow Marsau and his antics to sever that because she believes that's his intentions. And this is what she tells Nell. But she's trying to get a gauge on Nell and if she feels as if she can forge a relationship with Tisha. And Nell's like, I don't think so. I don't think I can forge a relationship with her. And she's still annoyed about the whole not being invited to the business expo. Because she was like, you told me that you were going to invite me. And backtracking a little bit at the event, at the Tiffany event, Tisha was just like, well, I posted on social media. If you're inviting people to be at your event, specifically friends, and you want them to be a part, Tisha, you have a lot to learn when it comes to just etiquette. And I'm not even just professional etiquette. Like there's a lot of lack of professionalism, both from Tisha and Marsau. But you may recall, it was just a couple of weeks ago. I forgot who called in. You will remind us the person that called in and said this. I think it was Brooklyn Star, who pointed out, remember we all were like, oh my God, good for Tisha being 85% owner of Sculpt. And, she's got her MBA. She's a smart woman. I'm not saying she's not. But Melody decides to drop this tea and say, well, there's this thing when I was working with Martel that if a lot of people were putting women, having them as the name of a business so they can get certain subsidies for their business because it's now considered a female-owned business. So Nell and Melody are like, oh, so that makes sense why she really doesn't know anything, why she's being pushed out of her business, why she doesn't even have an office, because she's just probably an owner by namesake, not really involved. I mean, I'm not surprised by that. And look, am I judging that? Not really. Look, because if you can hustle, this is your family business. So many of you guys probably do all kinds of stuff when it comes to your business. I'm just saying, I'm not judging. So I don't want to judge them because I know so many people that are doing all kinds of things in their business. And some of these billionaires that are getting all these subsidies because, I'm going to put this particular name on this. Or I'm going to put this in an LLC. People do all kinds of things. So I'm not going to judge these folks if they're trying to elevate their business and get things that they are entitled to. I'm not. But I can appreciate Melody saying, like, when I was in business with Martel, it was an equal business. So don't sit here and try and make it seem like I'm some dummy, like my businesses aren't real. And your wife is over here just a namesake. So that's her point. I don't think she's judging them on the fact, well, this is what you've decided to do. But this explains why Tisha really has no voice in this relationship or this business. Just saying. So she points that out, and then she says she's going to have a conversation with Marsau because you have a lot to say about me. And she also says, and I mentioned this before, that she believes that he's intentionally trying to keep Tisha in the dark and trying to keep Tisha away from from Melody because he's afraid. And they flash back to the times Melody was trying to bring Tisha into these business events to network and things like that, and how he doesn't like that. He doesn't want to be a power couple with Tisha. He wants Tisha to be a stay-at-home mom. But the problem here, Marsau, by putting Tisha on this global platform, she's already gotten a lot smarter and a little bit more independent. I mean, it just happens by, just from being and doing these types of things. She's already been elevated to a point where she's probably like, I don't know if that works for me anymore. Maybe, hopefully. But Melody thinks that he's purposely doing these things and trying to separate Melody and Tisha by doing these things, by trying to cause trouble. So they're going to have their separate conversation at the end of this episode. So then we get to Kiki's scene. So Kiki was supposed to go to the Tiffany reveal, but she didn't go. And Melody said that she was concerned because Kiki had been sick. So Kiki and her husband are having a conversation about these medical issues that she's having. She can't figure out what it is. We find out that she's on methadone. So you know how to Google schmoogle. I was like, I kind of know what methadone is. Methadone is a drug that they use for people that are addicted to opioids. So that's why she's on it. We already know she's been very transparent about her addiction. And she's also worried that because of what happened on Crime Stoppers, that people are going to believe that she's relapsed. Kiki, I do believe that you relapsed, but I'm not judging. I already said while I was watching this scene, I feel for Kiki so much. I'm not going to go hard on Kiki. She's a woman, because being an addict, I'm not an expert, but from what I've heard is that when you have an addiction like this, you are an addict and you're every day trying to work on the things to keep you from falling back into that addiction. I don't know what's going on with Kiki. Her husband believes that it's the methadone that's causing the issues that she's having. And based on my Google schmoogle, you could be on methadone for years. It's supposed to help you. So, because immediately when they said methadone, I was like, wait, is she back on that stuff? And remember last week or the previous week? It was the previous week. I said to you, did she intentionally try to act as if she's sick to get opioids? But I don't believe she can be on opioids and on methadone. So I don't know what's going on with Kiki, but I don't believe Kiki in this particular moment. Like, you could see a difference in Kiki this season versus last season. There's something going on with Kiki. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say something without full knowledge of what it is, but there's definitely something going on with Kiki. And I feel for her. Like, I'm treating this whole situation with kid gloves. I know a lot of people in this world like to dog out people that have addictions. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be a part of that, because to put her on this national platform, for her to choose to be on this national platform, I'm not dogging out the producers for it. I'm not dogging out any of her family members or anyone else that are friends with her, because I think it's important for us to see this. I think it's important for her to tell her story, to go through this journey. But I also think we need to be sensitive on what we say and how we handle when talking about it, because I think she does watch these comments and reviews on the show. And I don't want to say or do something that might trigger her to get back into something that might not be healthy for her sobriety. So Kiki, I don't know what's going on, but there's definitely something going on. I don't know if I believe 100% that it is this physical thing that's happening that you're not fully aware of. And it sounds as if your husband is not completely convinced either. I just wish Kiki the best. And Kiki, if this environment and people's commentary on you being on the show is not helping your mental health, I just would not be on it. But I know so often we say, oh, why did they have these people on it? Why did they, like with the Erica Mena situation, like why did they show this? We have to have these conversations. If they don't show these things, if they try to edit out these things, then are we getting the reality TV that we keep saying that we want? I know it's a hard thing to cover. It's a hard thing to put on a national platform, but this is real. If you look at the numbers of the level of addiction here in America alone, it's astonishing. So if we're not talking about it, if we don't have it in our faces, if we're not consistently having conversations about it, these people are not getting the support or the understanding from larger audiences. Us seeing Kiki, us talking about addiction is going to make us better as support systems for people with addiction. But if we don't see it, how can we learn and grow or at least relate to like, oh, I remember Kiki talking about this experience. I remember seeing how it made her feel. I remember seeing how it made her friends and family feel. We can't ignore what's happening in the world and think that us as an audience are not going to be desensitized to when someone that you know, or if you see someone on, in the street. I think you'd probably be a little bit more sensitive saying, well, that's someone's son, that's someone's mother, that's someone's sister, that's someone's something, that's husband or wife. Just saying, just a thought that I had. I pray for Kiki. I really do. I really do. All right. I'm not praying for? Marsau. So the last scene of this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville is between, they have so many hostile scenes, Marsau and Melody. So Melody wants to confront Marsau about what he said to the Fletchers and about the merchandise business. He says he has no respect for the business. He's like, I really wasn't talking about you. I was talking in general. But yeah, I don't really have a respect for that business, even though I'm in that business. She's like, what? What? Look, in all fairness, he said what he said. He doesn't have a respect for it, but he makes some money off from it. But I just don't understand how he would not have respect for the merchandise business. It's a $1 trillion business. It's a $1 trillion business. And honestly, I'm sure that check that Melody makes from her merchandise is a nice check. I'm sure that check could probably pay a mortgage for a while. I'm sure that is nice extra money to have. I'm just saying. There are plenty. This is part of the reason why you see so many of your content creators create merch. A lot of you want to wear your content creators merch. Oh, wait, speaking of merch, houseofkempire.com. But you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not making what Melody's making for merch. But that's a nice little check. I can go out to dinner. Look, I can go out to dinner. Thank you for the support. I'm able to eat. I like to eat. I'm just saying. But for some content creators, it's a nice bag. It's a nice bag. So I'm not going to take away from Marsau. He doesn't respect it. Am I going to tell him not to respect a business? No. Does it make logical sense? Not really. Not really. But of course he's backpedaling, and Melody's the right one to check him. She's the right one to check him on him, because she's like, what I do. Don't sit here and act as if all I do is merch. And then he made it seem like, I just feel like you just throwing things at the wall. I have never, and we have been critical of Melody. But when it comes to her business sense, I never felt like she was just starting businesses and just throwing things at the wall. I already told you who's doing that. Martel. That's who's doing that. How about you talk about Martel? That's who's starting all kinds of businesses, trying to keep up with his ex-wife. Melody has legitimate, there's a need. Oh, you want me to put merch? You want my sayings on merch? Okay. I can actually sing. I'm going to put out a single. I have a good personality. I'm going to host. I have nice skin. People want to buy skincare from me. I'm going to give you some skincare. And I'm still going to be involved in the original business of what I started, real estate. And it's going to be just me without my husband, who's still struggling and hasn't been on the show in the last couple of episodes. That's the thing. I can't hate on Melody. I know people will try, but I have to give it to her, except these last couple of weeks. Melody, what's going on with the wigs? Was this just an easier one to put on? But her glow up has been real, both her physically, but also like her business wise and everything that she's doing. And you guys always remind me, so I will remember Melody Rogers, first of all. I know I call her Holt, but her Instagram is still Holt. Her kid's name is Holt. I'm sure she's not offended if I call her Melody Holt. I know she intentionally has changed her name, so I will respect it. Please understand it wasn't intentional. I'm just used to the last 6 years of calling her Melody Holt. Okay? But she's got a lot of things going on, and I'm never going to hate on her glowing up, especially for her 4 kids and how badly this man cheated on her. Just saying. Anyways, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to vote in the YouTube live chat on how you would rate this episode. If you're watching on Twitch, Twitter, or on Facebook, be sure to let us know how you would rate this episode from 1 to 10. And what did you guys think of the episode? What was your favorite part? Are you enjoying this second part of the season? This is like episode 18. I'm hoping we only have like 4 more episodes because I think that would be perfect, and then give us a reunion. Okay, right? I don't want us to drag this out to the point where I'm like, by episode 30, I'm like, Carlos, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Anyways, there's still no word on Love and Marriage DC. Speaking of Love and Marriage DC, Monique Samuels and Chris Samuels have finalized their divorce. And it came out through People Magazine, the same people that released the Real Housewives of Potomac trailer, and it came out on the same day. Look, there's a combination of things that could have happened here. People will be really interested, like the world will be really interested in this Monique divorce if we release it the same day as the Potomac thing. It could be People Magazine doing that. But some of you have also said that, well, Monique really chooses, you believe that she is very calculated in that way. And remember in that Housewives book, Lorraine said that Monique was intoxicated by the fame. Intoxicated by the fame. So that's always stuck in my mind. And remember during BravoCon, when they were preparing for this new season of Potomac, that's when the whole separation rumors came out. And then she went on YouTube and was like, oh, I don't know where People Magazine got this information. People Magazine. This is Monique Samuels' cousin. Monique, I don't really trust you in that regard. But I'm glad that you guys were able to finalize this divorce. I'm also glad that it looks like you guys are going to be able to co-parent very well. Do you want to see Monique return to Love and Marriage DC or Potomac? You probably much rather see her on Potomac. I don't know how that's going to work, especially with how everything went down the last time she was there. I just don't know. But you never know. She's still very friendly with Ashley and Corin. That would have been really interesting for her to return. Remember, she wasn't fired. There's this rumor out there that she was fired. Still, no, they wanted her to come back that following season. She decided not to return. Do you want to see the update on what's going on with Monique? Do you think that Monique is still intoxicated by the fame? I don't know. But since we're talking about Love and Marriage, I thought, why not talk about this? Because we're still waiting on Love and Marriage DC. No update on when that's coming. Some of you said, I don't care. Oh, damn. All right. All right. Fine. Don't care then. Don't care then. Well, I thought this latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville was really good. I enjoyed the last couple of episodes. Everyone's doing their job. I'm so glad we have not seen Martell, but Martell is back next week. And coming for a Chris Fletcher. Why you keep coming from this man? Are you mad because he has hair? Look, as I say, look, I wave my imaginary hair. Are you mad? Why are you coming for Chris Fletcher when he was the one who gave you a roof over your head? And apparently he's like, well, we helped you make you who you are today. Probably Melody helped them, not you, Martell, because you don't, never mind. Martell was not on this episode, so I'm not going to divulge. We'll talk more about Martell next week. I feel like we definitely have more than 4 more episodes because they're supposed to go on a trip and he's supposed to bring some woman that's not Sheree to that Airbnb. Anyways, guys, let's get out of here with some music. But before we do that, be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Join us in our quest for 500,000 subscribers. And of course, thank you to our channel members. To become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. And if you haven't already, be sure to get your coldest water bottle, multiple sizes, multiple colors, and not just water bottles. They have other things there, ice packs, things for your pets, sheets, things. Don't forget to use the discount code KEMPIRE10 for 10% off of your order. All right. Thank you to our Kings Guards. We could not do this without them. I will see you all in the next video. Our next recap is what? Real Housewives of New York. But we don't talk about just reality TV here, guys. We talk about everything in pop culture. So be sure to check out everything that you missed this week and our new episode of our podcast, Kempire Radio. Don't forget to rate and review the podcast if you haven't already. And I will see you guys later. Let's get out of here with some music. Bye, y'all.
put your hands up. Going straight to the sky, let me see you put your hands up. Cause we do till we die and we on another level. To the rest, wave goodbye, put baguettes in the benzo. Got a piece of the pie. Told you once, told you twice that we only got one life. Stay up. Diamond shine, best at night. You wear yours, I'll wear mine. Go dumb tonight, tonight. Dipping low with my girls tonight. Got my ice in the clouds. Got me feeling right with my ice in the clouds. Dipping low with my girls tonight. Got my ice in the clouds. Cali Tro got me feeling right. Wanna see you put your hands up. Pointing straight to the sun. Everybody lift your bands up. Celebrate cause we won. We stay on another level. Another level. Yeah, the team stay fly. Word to Bruno, get your rings up. Cause the limit is the sky. Told you once, told you twice that we only got one life. Stay